Well, a very good evening and a welcome to Delta T Racing. I'm Nell Boy and I'll be commentating on tonight's Division 1 action live from Monza in Italy for round 7 of the Division 1 Championship. So this is the halfway point. Obviously, at the moment, we can quickly bring up the driver standings while we're waiting for people to go out. As you can see, Shabby's still in the lead at the moment with a 13-point gap over Chalkers. Shabby, unfortunately, missing the last race due to technical malfunction with his PlayStation, which hopefully is sorted now. Benny currently in third on 72 points, so he's not too far back at all, to be honest with you. Let's just see what's going on here. So we are on board with Shabby. So apologies, yeah, bring the standings up. Just wondering what was going on there. So Benny in third on 72 points, and then Michael in fourth on 70 points. So 32-point span between those four at the top, and then a big gap to Boss Mott's on 37 points. So let's get into the action. We'll bring the data up. So as I say, we'll follow around with Shabby. I don't think he's the lead car. I do normally go with the lead car. I'm not sure who is it. Senpei? No, we are Wesley. So Wesley will be the lead car. So I do wonder if there's going to be an element of slipstreaming down the start-finish line here. Interesting to see if slows up at all for... No, he's not. Looks like we're just going to go for it from the word go. So Wesley will be the first. He won't be the first to fit a time. It will be Broomer or Tickard. I think it's Broomer. So Broomer will be the first to set a time here at Italy. Been a few changes since the update. Certainly the chicanes are a lot more lethal now with the curbs. You used to be able to go pretty much straight over them. You can give it a go now, but you normally end up flying into the next turn and off track if you're unlucky. So it is much more sticking to the racing line and not using those curbs anymore, which people are getting used to. So we could see some incidents there. So now following around with Broomer, coming round to finish his lap, just with Parabolica to go. So closely behind him is Tickard, so it'd be interesting to see the split between these two as in the time difference. So Broomer, here we are, crosses the line and puts it at 120.886. That's a good banker for him there. And Tickard goes faster with a 120.246. Then we are looking at Wesley. Across the line, 121.168. And Shabby with a 120.236. So it's straight away back on the pace. We then have Chalkers coming through with a 121.2. Chavi with a 122.174. So we're starting to get some laps on the board now. Is that Benny? No, it's Brent. Coming across, Brent up into fourth place. So Brent, obviously our winner from last week in Portugal. Drove a stellar race, had 0 points on the board before that race, and certainly got on the board in a big way with 25 points. So he'll be looking at extending that a bit this time in this race, and hopefully get him some more points on the board. Michael now crossing the line of 119.678, so 0.6 of a second quicker already. We then look to have, I think it's the LP, one of the LPs, it's not. Okay, so Invisible's pitting. We then have Okay, I'm going to jump on board with EVG Trench, who's making his debut for us tonight. So you may recognise the name from some of the esports competitions that we've been doing. A good driver, Trench, and it's a pleasure to have him here at DTR. So we wish you well tonight. Obviously driving the Ferrari in front of the Tifosi. It's Ferrari haven't actually had a regular driver this year, so it'll be good for them to have someone on board who can hopefully get some points with I say 0 points, I believe, so far from the Ferrari team. But we'll jump on board and we will follow. Just see how Bosmots does. Bosmots is onto a flyer, so Bosmots and Trench both onto their opening flyers at the moment. Currently over 19.678 to beat by Michael, provisional pole in the McLaren. Shabby 120.236, 0.6 behind. So yeah, just following around with Trench at the moment as he goes around Lesmo 2. So heading down the back straight now. I'll be looking to the Ascari complex here. And just the Parabolica to go. I want to keep an eye on Bosmots just in front of him as well. I don't want to jump off because I will lose Trench. Be interesting to see what Trench's debut that is for Delta T Racing. And puts him up into 5th place with a decent lap of 120.615. So puts himself a nice banker in there. Bosmots incidentally put himself up into 6th place as well. So apologies, Bosmots, I didn't follow you on that. I just wanted to stay on board with Trench, give him a bit of screen time on his debut, but that's a good lap from himself as well, 120.663 into 6th place. So who do we have on a lap? Anybody? We have Invisible. So just through the 2 Lesmos, so he's now heading down to Variante Ascari, the Ascari complex, the left, right, left. So important here to get a good run through here so you can carry the speed obviously down here towards the Parabolica. Benny moves himself up into 8th with a 120.674. I completely missed Invisible as well. They're jumping up in the 5th. I thought I was following him, so let's get my eyes tested at some point. Okay, so we've got people coming out of the pits. I'm not sure if they're they've slapped on some fresh tyres. Obviously, I don't know at this point what the weather is going to be like. Oh, I do actually, Brent, thank you very much. Going to be full dry, so we're going to have a dry session here, which is quite a rarity at Imola. I think at Monza, sorry. I think most of the races last year we had rain interruptions. It'd be nice to see some dry races this time. Okay, let's see what Prince can do. Shabby up ahead as well. Brent there with a 120.127 puts himself up in the 2nd place, and Prince unfortunately falls victim of that curb. So it's that first right-hander there. You used to be able to cut it, well, not cut it, but go over it. You can't do it this year. So there we go, Prince. We won't follow you around anymore, my friend. Won't put the pressure on you. The Shabby now coming on to the start-finish line. We'll see what time he can put down. A 19.804, so puts himself back up in the second, but still a tenth and a half behind Michael, who's now on an out lap, so I could only see him going even faster than that. Tickard there as well in the fourth place with a 120.246, so he's doing very, very well. Okay, so who is going to be next? Are we trenches in? Wesley is going to be the next to cross the line. We'll see what Wesley can improve. I'm currently on a 120.7. He's on an out lap. Learn to read that bit now. 10k into the pits there. Okay, so Michael just caught the end of that. Michael just going wide, coming out of turn 5, the variante chicane, so the second part of that. Whether again that was down to the curbs, we will see. So we jump on board with Chalkers, currently second in the championship. Been fairly consistent this year, just had one bad race I think at Azerbaijan. No, he won Azerbaijan. Where did he have a bad? I think it was Belgium actually. But he's been quite consistent so far. Obviously had a chance to close up the gap on Shabby last week with Shabby being absent. So down to, as I say, 13-point gap at the top. Just approaching the halfway distance today. There we go through Ascari. Let's see what kind of time Chalkers is going to improve from a 120.001, so just outside the 119, so obviously capable of getting himself down there. Just into the Parabolica, we'll see what kind of exit he can get. And he pits. Okay, right, next out on track is Tickard. Tickard going down to the towards the Ascari complex. Teammate just behind him there, so I don't think that he's in. How was that not an invalidation? Okay, well he hasn't invalidated that, so into Parabolica. He will get to set this time. And he pits. His teammate there now going on to a fast lap, just seeing who else we've got out there. Wesley has invalidated, but I think that was an in lap anyway. We have 10k on an out lap, Prince on an out lap, and Black Mamba on an out lap as well. So Wesley will be coming into the pits here, obviously invalidating there. We look at a quick change of tyres and running out for his last run. I say with just under 4.5 minutes left now. Not too long to get in. We've got just over 1 minute 20 out lap, so we need to be looking at getting out around about the 2 minute mark. Let's jump on with Mamba. So putting himself through, keeping it clean through the chicane there, not cutting that curve which does send you airborne. Mamba again, another capable driver, done well for us in the DTR esports team this year. So thank you very much for all your help in that, Mamba. Fingers crossed, get a bit more luck in the races and get some of those points on the board that you have been deserving. We'll follow through as he's through to Lesmo 2. So now on to the back straight. The Curva de Seraglio, I believe it's called, but I'm going to call it the back straight. Now into the Ascari complex, the left, right, left. That again, I'm not quite sure how that wasn't an invalidation. Unless, of course, it is an invalidation, and I'm just not getting the. No, it looks like he's still going for a lap, a 120.071 there from Mamba, puts himself up into 4th place. So that was a a good lap from him, but as I say, it's we do seem to be getting a wide line there coming out of the third part of Ascari onto the straight before the Parabolica. And personally, if I tried that, I would certainly get a invalidation. And be honest with my luck this year, probably get a drive-through penalty as well. Okay, so Prince coming into the pits. We have 10k on a lap, and Mamba just in front of him obviously will be on a cool-down lap. I believe 10k is as well. Really not sounding well, that Ferrari engine. No, that sounds good. Right, okay, so 10k is obviously on a cool-down lap as well, so heading the group behind that is going to be first out for their runs is going to be one of the McLarens, and it will be Chalkers. So absentees tonight, we only have two that are unavailable tonight. Yari unfortunately couldn't make it, and IRS Stein will be missing for a couple of weeks. He's currently in training on his PC for the iRacing 24 Hours of Daytona, which is coming up on 21st to 23rd of January. So Stein, we wish you all the best with that. I hope it goes well. Obviously, if it is being broadcast on YouTube, we'd love to watch that, so please drop us the link. But we'll certainly be cheering our drivers on there. Mamba is out of the race, out of qualifying. I think that was just in the pits. So I think it's obviously with the time that was left, he'd done everything that he thought he could. We have a Ferrari off in front, which is 10k, who's a reserve in for tonight. It's going to keep on track with Chalkers, but yes. So obviously with Stein missing, we do have reserves in tonight. We have Tickard, we have 10k, Wazza, Chavi. I think that's it. I don't think Cassell could make it tonight, who was also a reserve, but he was obviously unavailable in the end tonight. So we've got 4 reserves in. There we are. Chalkers now coming towards the start-finish line for his final time. We'll see what he can improve. 1:19.890. So he improved on time, but not on position. And then have Chavi has come across the line behind. I'm trying to find somebody that I can follow. Let's jump on board to see where Chavi is. Chavi's coming down the back straight. Brent, 1:20.127. Chavi now coming to Parabolica. He's 18 seconds up, so he's had a moment there. That's not going to be an improvement on his time. So the last person out is Prince. And we'll see if Prince can beat a 1:19.678, which was Michael's initial effort, unable to be beaten by anybody. Prince comes across the line with a 19.7, puts himself up in the second place. A cracking lap there by Prince right at the death. So there we have it. We have our grid. Michael taking pole position, Prince taking second, then Shabby, Chalkers, and Black Mamba rounding out the top 5. I will then bring the rest of them up in a moment. So a dry race, so should be interesting here. So we have Michael taking, I think it's his first pole position of the year, so well done to Michael there in the McLaren. We have Prince in second, Shabby in third, Chalkers 4th, Mamba in 5th. Then we have Brent, Tickard, Trench on his debut in 8th there in the Ferrari. Good result for him. Brent in 9th, sorry, Wesley 10th, Xavi 11th, 12th is Invisible, 13 Kiko, 14th Benny, 15th Bossmot, 16th 10K, 17th Wazza, 18th Bruma, and in 19th was Sven Horsen bringing up the rear.
Welcome to Monza, where the crowd are ready for today's action. And we hope you're ready to see the world's best drivers fighting it out for that #1 spot. It's time for the Italian Grand Prix. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest circuit in F1. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some closer action.
Well, welcome back everyone. Okay, we are now on the formation lap. I get the details up here. Position change early on just to see who can make up any places. Obviously a turn, the turn 1 and 2 chicane in Retrophilia, so it's I think we might see some incidents there. Hopefully we will it will be kept fairly cleanish. So let's have a quick run through the grid. Looking at the tyres, interestingly, let's see who has what tyres on. So obviously the top 10 have gone for the softs that they qualified on. Interestingly, everybody outside have gone for mediums, except for Sven at the end in the Alpine, deciding to go for the softs. So whether that's a strategic move or whether potentially it's another one where you've asked Codemasters to change it and it hasn't, so we'll wait and see. It could be a strategic option to try and get past the medium runners in front. So running through the grid, we have Michael pole position, taking his first pole position of the year. Prince in second, Shabby third, Chalkers fourth, fifth we have Mamba, sixth Brent, seventh Tickard, eighth is Trench on his debut, ninth is Bren, 10th Wesley, 11th Chavi, 12th Invisible, 13th is Kiko, 14th is Ibani or Benny as we call him, Bossmot's in 15th, 16th 10k, 17th Wazza, 18th is Bruma, and 19th and last is Sven Horsen. So here we are now lining up on the grid. We're just waiting for the last car to come in, which is going to be Sven. Takes his place on the grid in 19th position there. I can't see the light. Here we are. It's 5 red lights and away they go. It's a good start by Michael there, pulling himself. A bit of a battle going on behind him there with Shabby and Prince. Just see if it's kept with no incidents. No incidents into Retofilio, that's really good. So first lap, no incidents. We'll see if they can continue that through into turns 4 and 5. Wesley has retired and Tickard. I completely missed what happened there, but this is what I said. She looks like Bren was involved in that as well. Oh, Wesley, not been your night. No, Wesley and Tickard. So I've had a bit of an incident round turn 3, so not even making it around the lap. So it'd be interesting to see what happened there. I did miss it because I was following the front runners going towards... Oh, Shabby's picked himself up a drive-through. No, Shabby. Well... I think a lot depends on Shabby serving his drive-through penalty straight away as we are back under racing again. So that's going to drop him right to the back of the grid. Brem picking up a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Brent getting his new nose. So, Michael getting on for 2 seconds ahead after lap 2. So he certainly has made the most of that to pull away. So we've got Broomer and Xavi fighting. Xavi, sorry, fighting at the end here. Xavi losing 3 places for the start. Xavi, biggest loser, going down 13, but because of that drive-through, so he'll be hoping that there's a safety car to pull himself up a bit closer. So Trench there, unfortunately, out, or not out, has spun off, coming through the last part of the Ascari. So rejoined nice and safely, which is good to see. So Prince and Chalkers now are going to be the main battle. So we've got Sven and Trench swapping places at the back there. Sven and Javi, sorry. So currently we have a McLaren 1-2 with Michael leading the race by 3 seconds from his teammate Chalkers, who's half a second ahead of Prince in the Alpha Tauri. Member currently in 4th, Brent in 5th. 6 is Benny, 7th Invisible, 8th is Kiko. 6th Invisible is closing down here. We then have Bossmots behind Kiko in 9th and Wazza running at the top 10. Wazza, I believe, starting down in 18th, so he's made 17th, so he's made up 7 places so far. So a cracking start by Wazza. I think this at the front is going to be interesting, and Member is pulling them in slowly as well, so this could become a three-way train. Let's see how Prince can do. DRS open. Closing, but he's not going to close enough to make the move. Just shows his hand there, just to say, Chalkers, I'm here. And it looks like Wazza has had a bit of a moment, dropped a couple of places there. Now got his Haas teammate Xavi directly behind him. See, both of these reserves tonight, so they won't be scoring points for the Haas. But they'll be teammates tonight nevertheless. So, you see, right, so Xavi, 15th place. He's working his way up as he's over 3.5 seconds behind 10k. We'll keep an eye on that just to see how the gap goes there, but this is one of the close battles at the moment, which is Chalkers and Prince. So is Prince going to be able to go for the move here? I think again he's just outside of that effective DRS. But Benny and Invisible having a change of places here, going down into turn 1. looks like Invisible had the best going into the corner. And Benny got the better drive out of it, but Invisible, not sure if he's using ERS there. Kept it clean there, unfortunately losing a place to Kiko. It's not a corner you can cut at all there. So back towards the front, so second place Chalkers, third place Prince, still battling away there, and keep an eye on the Kiko and Invisible battle a bit further down as well, as that seems to be heating up nicely. We've got Benny with Kiko and Invisible directly behind him, so we've got a three-man train there. You can see Bossmot's closing up shortly as well, looking towards the top. Again, it looks like Chalkers has just got enough of a gap to keep Prince behind him. We'll see if one of these is going to make a move. Obviously Kiko is closing. No. Just not quite long enough the start finish line. We'll do just a little bit more just to get that DRS working. Obviously DRS, ERS. But if the one in front is using ERS as well, you can close, but it's, you need to be close. And unfortunately Prince just doesn't seem to get just close enough. Invisible must have had a small moment there. He's dropped off ever so slightly from Kiko. Was literally just behind. Now dropped back a further, well, probably about half a second. So maybe just a small moment. Nothing major there. Tyre selection up so we can see who is on what. Wazza coming into the pits and putting hards on, so he'll be looking at trying to take that to the end, I would have thought. But at the front we still have no movement. Mamba and Brent having a nice battle there, and his Brent's teammate Benny doing a sterling job keeping off the AlphaTauri and the Aston Martin behind him of Kiko and Invisible. With Shabby moving his way down as well, down in up into 14th place, 2.5 seconds behind Chavi now. You can see that coming down quite quickly. I think he will be praying for a safety car at the moment, just to bring himself back into it. So he always has good pace, Shabby, and considering he hasn't really touched the PlayStation for a week, so due to a technical issue he was having, jumped straight on and up to speed. So we'll keep an eye on him, just closing up to 2 seconds now behind Chavi, so he's closing over half a second on that lap. So I can see him getting onto the. I can still see him getting up into the points, but he really does need a safety car. Or have we got to move Prince? No. We do have a move here with Kiko getting past Benny. And Sven and Bruma changing position. Sven going for the overtake. Going into the first chicane. See if Benny can make a move back past Kiko. Obviously these are the top 2 medium runners, so we'll take the lead when the top 2 decide to pit. Top 2? Top 5, the soft runners should I say, when the soft runners decide to pit. Seems to have some nice steady, stable gaps at the moment. Just looking to see if anyone. Shabby is right behind Xavi now, so I would expect him to make a move, if not. I was wondering whether he'd make the move for Parabolica, but I think he'll get himself the DRS, use a bit of ERS. 10K has left the session. What happened to 10K? We have a safety car. .10K looks like he was a victim of Ascari 3. So turn number 10 coming out there, just literally where Trench is passing now. It's been cleared away, but I think he's probably crashed right about where that DHL sign is on the right there. So unfortunate for 10K. Brings up our third retirement, but this is good for Shabby, who does indeed pit for the mediums. Probably slightly a bit earlier than he'd like, but it's 2-3 laps behind the safety car. Can save some tyre wear. So we'll see if the front two are going to pit. Obviously they would be stacking if they did, but with nearly a 6-second gap between them, I can't see that's going to be an issue. So does Michael come in? He does indeed. I would expect him to be putting a nice fresh set of mediums on. Will potentially lose the lead to top 3 runners now. Also, all the soft runners are coming into change. Are they going to keep the lead? It's going to be very close. Benny coming into the pits as well. So did Benny have damage? Or just putting on a... What's Benny gone for there? I can't see what colour that is. It looks like soft. So Benny's going to look for a further 2 stops from there. Be nice if it followed the car rather than the pit crew. Coming out. So we do indeed have a new leader from that. Bossmot's now taking the lead in his Mercedes 9-lap-old mediums. Obviously the front runner of the medium starters. Michael putting himself out in second after making his mandatory pit stop from softs onto mediums. He'll be looking to stretch those to the end if he can. Broomer in third place, again with 9-lap-old mediums. Xavi in fourth with 9-lap-old mediums. Then we have Michael's teammate Chalkers in fifth. Prince in sixth, Mamba in seventh, Brent in eighth. All going on to fresh mediums. Then we've got Benny 9th and Kiko 10th, who have gone on to softs. So they will need to pit again. I don't think the softs will go 17 laps. I may be proved wrong. And to be honest, I think if anyone can stretch the tyres that distance, it will be Benny. So that will be interesting. We'll wait to see what develops from there. 11th, we've got Sven Horsen in the Alpines, gone for the hard, so he'll be looking towards the end. Shabby worked his way up into 12th. On the mediums, we'll be looking to make short work of Sven in front of him. Wazza in 13th, also on hards. And then we have Invisible, Trench and Bren rounding out the 16 runners that we still have. Bossmot's getting a bit impatient there with the safety car. You can imagine him on the radio to Toto and the safety car's going too slow. Can't get any heat in the tyres. So yeah, three drivers who haven't finished so far. We have first out was Tickard and Wesley, who had a incident going into turn 3 on the opening lap. So I didn't see what happened, but obviously there was an element of contact. Bren also involved in that as well, losing his nose cone. So we'll wait and see if anything comes of that later on. The other one being 10K, who was the retirement that brought out this safety car going through the final corner of Ascari. and obviously hitting the wall. So that's they're the 3 retirements that we have so far. So Michael, basically the de facto leader, obviously just behind Bossmots, who hasn't made his mandatory pit stop yet. Michael doesn't actually have a win to his name yet this year. Again, he's another driver who's been extremely quick and very useful for us in the DTR esports. So thank you very much for your participation in that, Michael. But yeah, today, I mean, he's had the fastest lap this year, but it was his first pole position. We'll see if he can break his duck for race wins as well. But safety car staying out for another lap. Bossmots is getting very impatient now. And be careful he doesn't get himself disqualified. That would be absolute travesty for him. Okay, so just following, let's have a quick look at penalties, see who has what so far, if I can find the right one. Penalties. We have Brian with a 5-second penalty. I think that was for speeding in the pit lane, and Waza with a 3-second penalty as well. Again, that would be for warnings. Obviously, you have 3 warnings, and then you pick up a nice 3-second time penalty, which completely ruins your race. So everybody stopped so far, other than Bossmots in first, Bruma and Chavi in third and fourth. Obviously they will need to make their mandatory stop as well at some point. But 14 place gained by Bossmots, down to the medium tyres. 15 for Bruma, again medium tyre wise. Does make up all the positions, but the lights are out on the safety car, so we will be coming in this lap. Let's get the tyre data up. And we'll see when Bossmots is going to make the move, and obviously Michael behind him on nice, fresh, soft, mediums even, nice fresh mediums. It's just a matter of getting the warmth into it. I think you get a good exit. It's down the start-finish line. It's really is a matter of when Bossmots pulls the trigger. And has he gone? No, he hasn't. So it looked for one moment that he was going early. And we are go back under racing conditions. The safety car in. We have Bruma, who has made a great start directly behind Michael. Michael looking to maybe make a move up the inside of Bossmots. We have Chavi there, unfortunately out braking himself slightly. Hopefully he hasn't caused any damage there. Brent getting a little bit wide, getting a bit of a tank slapper on the grass there. There's someone in front of him going a bit slower. Who's behind? Who is that? Is it Bren? Yeah, Brent, obviously he's been lapped, so it was good of him to get out the way. And Bruma and Chalkers are very, very close together. We've got some nice tasty battling going on here. Chalkers looking to go up the outside, up towards Ascari, and makes the move nice and easy. I don't think Bruma fought that one too hard, in fairness. So lots of people having a look. We just want to see if Shabby up to 9th. He's made a great restart. From 12th back up to 9th. Let's get back up to the front 2 and see if anybody's going to make a move. It looks like Michael is going to make a move on Bossmots for the lead, and he does indeed. Nice easy overtake for him there. Tucks himself back in before we even get to the first part of the chicane. Everybody behind seems to be behaving themselves. So right, back to the front. Michael now taking the lead. Be interesting to see if he can pull away from Bosmos. See if his teammate will be eager to get past Bosmos as well and making a McLaren 1-2 again. Pico and Benny having a nice friendly battle going on here, and Shabby now just behind Benny. Trying to keep my eyes everywhere at the moment to see what is going on. Who's been into the pits? Invisible has been into the pits. Nose to tail, from literally 5th right the way down to 13th. And Benny here looking for a move around the outside of Kiko. DRS enabled, so we will see if any of the overtakes are going to happen. Looks like there's a move in front. Teammates swap Bruma and Black Mamba. And just behind Benny, Benny outbrakes himself going for the move and loses quite a few places there. With the pack so close together, it is, you make one small mistake and that's it. You've lost so much time, so many positions. So Shabby up into 7th place now. You just can't keep this man down, can you? So Invisible. Brent is out. What happened to Brent? I think there's Brent back there. Looks like we had an incident in Lesmo 1. And the safety car is out again. On lap 15, we're going to be 2-3 laps underneath. It may well be worth pitting for a set of softs. Certainly those towards the back that are Sven Horsen on the hards, it's certainly be worth him coming in putting a set of mediums on, if nothing else. So so Brent, unfortunate for Brent, our race winner from last week was sitting in a fairly decent position actually. So we now have the pit stops being made. Michael pitted, Chalker's pitted, so again a double stack. They have gone indeed for the softs. Be about a 10-lap shootout on those. They should last. Bosmot's just behind, then Mamba, then we have Bruma. Chavi also into the pits for a set of softs, and Benny as well, who is now leaving the pits. Invisible. Three-lap old. Again, I wonder if it's worth him coming in and putting a set of softs on. He will be able to catch up as long as he can get around quickly. Is he going to get... No, it's going to continue. So I think Invisible's going to close up to the field and look at trying to take those mediums to the end of the race. But look at this. This is Shabby now back up into second place. Was in second place on lap 1, then we had the virtual safety car because of the incident, unfortunately, with Ticket and Wesley. Chevy picking up a drive-through who then managed to serve it pretty much the same lap when the virtual safety car came in, but dropping him to the back of the grid. Has now worked his way back up into second place, obviously on 6-lap-old mediums, and does have the bunch from 7th to 13th all on fresh softs. So be interesting to see if they are able to close up on him. Also be interesting to see if Shabby can pick himself a win from pretty much a dead last position. So if anyone can, Shabby can. So a quick run through the grid that we currently have. Prince Killer in the AlphaTauri leading the way. Shabby in his Alfa Romeo in second place. In third we have the second AlphaTauri of Kiko So AlphaTauri's doing quite well at the moment. We have Trench in 4th place at the moment. It's a cracking position for him on his debut drive for Ferrari. Wazza has worked his way up into 5th, shedding those hards that he went on to. He's now done 5 laps on the medium, so he'll be looking at taking those to the end. Sven Horsen on the hard 7 laps will easily get to the end, but he's going to be so much slower than the 2, 4, 6, 7 cars behind him there. But he's got track position, so we'll see what he can do. So, second safety car of the race so far. We've had 1 virtual and 2 safety cars. I thought Michael would be cursing the safety car. I think he had about a 6-second lead over his teammate at one point before the first safety car came out. Got himself back up into the lead. Obviously he has now dropped down to 7th, but he is one of those fresh softs. So I expect him to be rapid and certainly make his way back up. Whether he can get up to the front, we're looking at 10 laps if the safety car comes in now, which I don't believe it is. Nope, so we're going to be another lap under the safety car. Oh, and now the safety car decides to come in. That is a very, very late call for the safety car to come in. Very, very late. And we are go. Trench there getting a good run on Kiko, going towards turn 1. Looks to go around the outside, which will then change to the inside corner. No contact there, that's good. So they've kept that well going through there. And again, we've got through turn 1 without any incidents. And Shabby takes the lead up the inside of Prince there, going up into turn 4. And Sven Horsen is indeed dropping his way back now. The soft runners are so much quicker. Wazza has had a spin. Gets himself back into the race, into 13. Keep it going, Wazza. So obviously, yep, just a spin there coming out of Les Mode 2. So Shabby now in the lead, has pulled out a small gap on Prince, but obviously no DRS at the moment. They'll wait 2 laps until after the safety car for this to be enabled. And nobody close enough to go for a move down into turn 1. So Michael working his way back up into 4th on those fresh softs, and Chalker's sort of working his way behind him. There we go, he will be looking at going around the outside of Trench there easily with the additional grip of the soft tyres compared to the mediums, especially 8-lap old mediums. So Chalker's now directly behind his teammate. The times have gone, which is always handy. So we can see that Shabby is leading. We'll stick on board with him for the moment. Just Michael just having a little look on the inside of Kiko there. Going to be interesting now with the 2 McLarens directly behind Kiko. DRS now being enabled as well, but Michael going around the outside of Kiko here. Is he going to make it? Did make it, but Kiko's not giving that place up. Says you want it, you can have it, but you've got to work for it. And Michael going up the inside, that's going to end in contact. I can see that 2 into 1 there, does not go. A little bit impatient there by Michael, I think. We've got the timings back, which is very, very useful. So Shabby still leading, pulled out half a second on Prince. But they do now have a 1.2 second gap on Kiko, who has just lost the place to Michael. So Michael now up into 3rd place. He will be second after the front 2 at a rate of knots. With 7 laps to go as we cross the line. Missing there, Chalkers going for the move before the Parabolica. Kiko, I think, struggling on those 10 lap old softs. I'm not sure he's going to get another 7 laps out of those, but we will see. So as the McLarens now go hunting down the AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo in front of them, obviously 1-2, Shabby and Prince. Michael's closed up dramatically there. That was getting on for a second, and he's just evaporated. So I think if Michael can get the moves done, he's in a very good position to win this. But I mean, Kiko not giving up either. He's not dropping that much further back. And he has Trench just behind him as well, and then we've got the new tile runners coming. Invisible there, putting a 1:22.138 for the fastest lap. Obviously not been a great day for him. Michael and Prince. See Chalker's getting a better drive here. He'll be past Prince as well. I'm not sure if Michael took that position whilst he was off track. Should have perhaps given it back, but maybe it's a close one. Let's have a look at the replay and see what happened there. But we now have Michael is gobbling up the ground on Shabby. Shabby's certainly not going to make it easy for Michael to get past, but you've got 12 lap old mediums against 5 lap old softs. Softs are certainly going to be the better tyre for the next 2-3 laps. Mediums could well come back into it, but we will see. So Shabby leading the race in the Alfa Romeo. There was a slightly from Michael in the McLaren with his teammate Chalkers directly behind him, and then directly behind him we have the AlphaTauri of Prince Killer. Invisible setting another fastest lap, 21.466. It's a shame he couldn't be up here battling for the podium and points, because he obviously has got the pace for it. There's some unfortunate incidents in the race. So here we have the bat, and it's an end plate gone there for Michael. I think that was a little bit impatient, perhaps going for there. I'm not 100% sure. It was difficult to see from this angle exactly what happened. But Chalker's now taking the lead. Michael, unfortunately, ruined his race down. He's 11th place at the moment to come out of the pits, which I'm not even sure he's going to retain 11th. He might drop himself down to 12th or even further, which is a shame when you're just battling for the lead. But okay, so Trench is saying 6, doing really, really well on his debut. Shabby, I'm sure he'd be happy with 3rd after the first couple of laps, but he'll also be kicking himself. Drive-through penalties are very easy to get on this game, and it's not always a legitimate reason, shall we say, but can ruin your race, can completely ruin your race. But But we are also completing lap 23 of the Italian Grand Prix, as I say, round 7. So this does mark the halfway point of Division 1 season. Well, also for all divisions all the way down to 5. We do have some good news where we are expanding further, and we do have a 6th division ready to take off soon. Might be a slightly more unbalanced division because we've got sort of newcomers that have come in where potentially there isn't placement. But obviously we will make it as evenly spread as we possibly can. But yeah, I mean, just great work to all the staff at DTR to sort of expand to potentially a 6th division now, as well as 2 divisions for the Formula 2. We've got GT7, which will be coming out soon. I believe it in March. And Michael has retired in the pits. Oh, Michael, you could have still gone and got some points, mate, but I can understand that in a way. But yeah, so hats off to the staff. I mean, obviously to Enns and Bogorowski, whose sort of dream it was to get DTR up and running, and just how fantastically we've gone from, potentially 1 division in the Alpha season to 4 divisions, 5 divisions, and now, sort of potentially a 6th division as well. We have a safety car because Benny has crashed. Where has Benny crashed? Apologies, so busy talking about DTR, I missed that, but just looking where Invisible is, looks like it was around about Ascari 1, so turn 8 that Benny had the incident. So we are. I think the safety car should come in this lap to give us 2. Invisible picking up a 5-second penalty. It's just, apart from fastest lap, it's just been a day for him to forget. I think it's not gone well, but yeah, I mean, currently as we stand with the safety car should be coming in soon. We've got Chalkers in the McLaren leading from Shabby, working his way back up into 2nd. Bit of an incident there between himself and Michael. To wait and see exactly what that was. Then we have the 2 Williams of Mambo and Bruma. Trench in 5th, Van Horsen still on those hards in 6th position. 7th is Prince, who's dropped down, but he's obviously come in pitted for fresh softs just for the end. Chavi, Kiko, Wazza, Bossmots and Invisible are the remainders of the runners. So safety car is in this lap. Here we are coming on to the start-finish line. We're just waiting for Chalkers to pull the trigger. Which he does. He has gone. Shabby pulling in. No, not enough for him to go for a move there. There's a bit of carbon fibre gone at the back there. Not quite sure who that was. Has lost a bit of wing, but there's someone's end plate gone. See if we can work out who has some wing damage, but we've doesn't look like it's the Williams. So is it Prince? Kiko with a 3-second time penalty. I did wonder if it was him. He was struggling a bit, but oh, Prince giving Bruma a bit of a push up the backside there. Come on, faster. Keep an eye back at the front here because Shabby is he's not giving up on this. So front 2 in the championship. So Chalker's second in the championship, currently leading. Shabby leading the championship, currently second. But Mamba not far behind either. Prince now made his move on Broomer. But Broomer not giving up, looks for a move up the inside, perhaps a little bit late there on the brakes. Broomer loses a few positions there. And Prince keeps his position. So Broomer in a little bit of trouble there, just dropping down to 8th from 4th, trying to defend on the corner there. Shabby losing a bit of time now to Chalkers, lost nearly a second, so he's out of the DRS. But here we go, we are coming towards the end of the final lap of the Italian Grand Prix, and if all go, Mamba picking up a 3-second penalty there, that could hurt him at the end, we will see. But Chalkers, yeah, looking to pick up his 3rd Grand Prix victory of the season after opening with wins in Mexico and Azerbaijan for the first 2 races of the season. Looks to pick up his 3rd win of the season. And he does indeed. Shabby coming home in 2nd. Mamba does indeed keep 3rd. No, he doesn't. Trench getting a podium on his debut. Fantastic work there, Trench. Well done. We then have Mamba in 4th. Broomer does come back to 5th place. In 6th place we have Chavi, 7th Prince, 8th Kiko, 9th Bosmots, 10th Wazza, and in 11th, and the final finisher was Sven Warzen. Broomer there picking up driver of the day. So a good race for him, obviously with a small incident on the final lap going to turn 1, but just being defensive. So lost a few places there, but obviously with the penalties managed to work his way back. So an interesting Grand Prix there. So I mean, some incidents in there. I'm sure there'll be some talking about afterwards, whether anyone's to blame or whether it's over-eagerness. We will have to wait and see. But I think there could be a few reports potentially going in there. So race result, we have Chalkers in the McLaren with the win. Shabby 2nd in Alfa Romeo, 3rd on the final place of the podium. Trench on his debut. Many congratulations, Trench. Great to have you here. Look forward to commentating on some more podiums for you and hopefully some victories. Black Mamba in the Williams and Broomer in the Williams in 4th and 5th. We have Chavi in 6th in the Haas, in 7th Prince Killer in the AlphaTauri, 8th Kiko in the AlphaTauri, 9th Bosmots in the Mercedes, 10th Wazza picking up a point there in the Haas, 11th Sven Horsen, 12th Invisible in the Aston Martin. Then the unfortunate did not finishers were Benny, Michael, Brent, Bren, 10K, Wesley and Tickard. So that brings to the end round 7 of the Delta T Racing Division 1. Next week is Monaco. That will be interesting. We'll see how things go next week. Obviously Monaco never disappoints, but before then, obviously tomorrow night we have Divisions 2 and Division 4 at 8 o'clock, and on Thursday we have Division 5. The following Thursday we will have the introduction of our new Division 6 as well, which is very exciting. So thank you for listening tonight. If you haven't had enough of your motor racing tonight, if you log into the YouTube channel, you'll be able to watch Division 5 tonight, which is being commentated on by my good friend Mikey. So I hope that's a good race. I'll look forward to seeing that. Thank you ever so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed commentating on it. And I will look forward to seeing you all next week. So thank you ever so much. You have a good night. Take care.